Hello, everyone, and welcome to Start on Campus, our Finding Community on Campus session. My name is Jenny Danes, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a member of the START team who is here to help you prepare this summer for starting at UofG in the fall. If you have any questions this summer and don't know who to ask, you can email us at start@uofguelph.ca. Before we begin our session today, I would like to begin with a land acknowledgement. The University of Guelph resides on the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. It is recognized that the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples have long-standing and ongoing relationships with this land. This is a gathering place where we work and learn and is home to many past, present, and future First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people. It is important to recognize the lands of Indigenous peoples locally, across Turtle Island, and around the world. We acknowledge the land because we all have a collective responsibility to this place and its people's histories, rights, and presence. Today, I'm very excited to welcome some of our lovely campus partners and student staff who work very hard to create a community on our campus. You will hear from different folks about the different communities across campus, events that are happening and the programs they run, and the resources that they provide. We'll have the questions open at the side for anything on your mind while we chat with you today, and there will be a chance for you to ask any questions in the middle and at the end of the presentation. You can simply do this by going to the question and answer function and typing in your question. But before we get started, I'm going to turn it over to Anna, who's going to chat with us about some helpful tips to remember when you're looking for finding your own campus community and about how to get involved.
Hello. Sorry, I'm just waiting to get added to the video. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going into my last year of undergrad. This summer, I am on the orientation team, so I'm helping to plan a week for you folks. So now that you're going into your first year this fall, you might be thinking about how to get involved on campus and how to find your community. It's important to remember that getting involved looks different for everyone. On campus, there's over 200 clubs that you can join. Joining a club is just one of many ways to get involved or to find community on campus. And although there are so many options, remember that you don't have to try everything. Try to do one thing and see how that goes. During orientation week, you will also get a chance to learn about the many clubs that we have here on campus. So the Central Student Association, which is the student union on campus, is hosting a Clubs and Subs event. And at this event, you will get to eat some delicious sandwiches and learn about the many clubs that we have here on campus and the kinds of things they do during the year. During orientation week, clubs will also be hosting their own events that they've planned for you. And this is a great opportunity to try something new, to meet new people, and to see what the club likes to do during the year. During my time at the university, something I've done is I've joined the Guelph Neuroscience Student Association, and I was able to attend many fun events. Last year, I actually became an executive member of the club as an event planner, and I had a lot of fun planning things like trivia night at Brass Taps, which is a restaurant that you will learn about. Basically, getting involved in a club as an executive member will let you plan the things for students as well. That's one way to get involved. Personally, I became more involved with clubs as I went through my degree, so I tried to do more things a bit later because I wanted to get used to university in my first year. And this might be different for you. Maybe you'll join a lot of things in your first year, but it's important to remember that everyone's experience is different. So just make sure to try something new at some point, even if it's just one thing.
Thanks so much. My name's Catherine Iverson, and I am the coordinator of student transfer programs here at the university. I've worked on campus for about 5 years, so I'm pretty well versed in a lot of the different opportunities we have here on campus. Right now, I'm the coordinator of student transfer programs, which means I'm here to support students transferring from external institutions, whether that means students have finished a college program and they're starting their university career, or if you're transferring from another university within Ontario, Canada, or internationally. It's my job to help transfer students find community on campus and provide opportunities for community building, whether that's creating a community within the transfer student population or learning about different ways to get involved on campus. Myself, with a team of student staff, help plan different activities come the fall and winter semesters that help you find your way around campus, learn about the University of Guelph lingo, and then otherwise just learning how to really make University of Guelph yours for the next couple of years. We know that from talking to existing transfer students that a lot of our incoming students don't feel like first-year students because you have completed some programming at a different institution. It's my job to help you navigate CourseLink and learn about WebAdvisor and altogether identify different ways to really start learning about that Gryphon experience. As a transfer student, I also want to take an opportunity to reiterate the importance of setting an appointment with your program counselor to review your transfer credits and ensure that you're starting off on the right foot. This will also mean making sure that you are getting familiar with your campus buildings and hopefully learning, meeting a couple of new people in your program. As we just heard, there's lots of different clubs associated with your different programs, so that may also be a great way of learning your new way around campus. I act as a main point of contact, and you'll be hearing from me as we send out emails highlighting different events for transfer students or otherwise sharing opportunities for you to get involved with other existing programming. I know you don't just identify as a transfer student, so it's my job to help students build out the other parts of your identity. And with that, you're now going to hear from some other folks here on campus to learn about how they help create community in their roles.
Hello, hi, I am Jamie. I use she, they pronouns. I am Métis, a citizen of the Métis Nation of Ontario, and the coordinator of Indigenous programs at the University of Guelph. The Indigenous Student Centre, or ISC as we're also known, is a home away from home for First Nations, Inuit, and Métis students. The ISC aims to provide a safer space and inclusive community for Indigenous students. Ali Stute, your Indigenous Student Advisor, provides confidential individual and group advising, including transitioning to university, finances, academic questions, tutoring, identity connections to community, personal matters, and more. If you have any questions, Ali is happy to help you find the answers. You can connect with her via email at astute@uoguelph.ca. Start Indigenous is a pre-orientation program for First Nations, Inuit, and Métis students. It's an opportunity to meet other Indigenous students, the ISC team, and get connected and settled before the fall. We'll also answer any questions you or your family may have about transitioning to university and the city of Guelph. If you are a First Nations, Inuit, and Métis student and you haven't joined the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis student group in Microsoft Teams, email indigenous.student@uoguelph.ca to be added. As the coordinator, I plan a range of programs and activities, including visiting elders and knowledge holders, learning circles, socials, film screenings, craft workshops, and so much more. We also host Indigenous Recognition Week, Treaties Recognition Week, and a celebration of Indigenous achievement. We welcome all students to check out what the ISC has to offer, and we look forward to meeting you all.
Thank you, Jamie. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Wong. I use she and they pronouns, and I'm one of the coordinators of international student programs. So for international students, we know it can be exciting yet nerve-wracking to start your university life in a new country. You're navigating new academic settings and expectations, immigration policies, all while also adjusting to a new culture and a new way of life. And it can be really daunting, but I assure you it's completely normal to feel that way. And there are resources available for you to help overcome those challenges. We encourage you to get involved in the many communities being presented to you today, since it's one of the best ways to meet new people, create lasting friendships, and build your circle of support. With the friends you meet here, we hope that you'll find a home away from home in Guelph and in Canada.
Hey everyone, I'm Ria. I use she and her pronouns, and I'm a third-year student at UofG. I'm also a peer helper volunteer and a summer student staff member with the International Student Experience Office. So personally, as I've learned through personal experience, getting involved is probably the best way to gain transferable skills in a Canadian context. You may have already developed skills like communication, collaboration, and organization through your high school involvement. But by getting involved here, you can actually continue to learn and improve on those skills and hopefully translate them in your future job applications. Throughout the process, you may experience cultural differences and it may be overwhelming, but we just wanted to remind you that you're not alone and it's okay to ask for help. Transitioning and adjusting to a new lifestyle, culture, and education system can be extremely challenging. And it's okay to feel nervous about getting involved in your first semester or your first year. So we really hope that you'll get involved as soon as you feel ready and to just take a step forward and get involved. If you're not sure where to start, please feel free to talk to one of us and we are happy to guide you along the way.
Thank you, Ria. So what are some ways you can get involved in the international student communities? You should get familiar with International Student Experience, or ISE, which is a hub for supporting international students. We want to support your individual transition needs, connect you to resources on and off campus, and tailor programs to you. So the ISE support systems are divided into two parts. There's advising and programming. I'll touch a bit on advising and then I'll pass it over to Ria for programming. So in terms of advising, we have international student advisors who will be here to support you throughout your studies at UofG. And if you have any questions about immigration, finances, getting involved, social insurance numbers, health insurance, connecting with other students, or you're just feeling homesick or overwhelmed, feel free to reach out to one of the international student advisors and talk through any personal concerns that you might have.
We also, as we mentioned, have a number of wonderful programs to help you with your transitions at Guelph and Canada. So these programs are specifically designed to help you meet friends and connect with new people, explore the Canadian culture, and discuss topics that are relevant to your experience as international students. We also offer educational programs such as career development workshops, as well as supports such as how to file taxes in Canada. So two of the programs that I'd really like to highlight today for new students are the Link and Conversation Partners program. So just as a summary, the Link program connects new international students with an upper year student to help ease their transition into the Canadian culture, as well as the life at the university. By joining the Link program, you'll get one-on-one support from a current Guelph student who has volunteered to share their experiences and time with you. As for Conversation Partners program, it is for English as additional language students who would like to be paired with a student volunteer to improve their conversational English. So if you want to improve your speaking English, this program is for you. And last but not least, we have Start International. If you're an international student, new permanent resident, or out-of-country Canadian, we have an orientation tailored just for you. Start orientation will take place from Tuesday, August 30th to Friday, September 2nd, where we will be covering topics such as academic expectations, cultural adjustment in a new environment, learning about campus life and resources, as well as meeting new friends. So again, we really want to remind you that you're not alone, and we hope that you'll get a chance to connect with peers who are in a similar situation as you, or upper year students who've gone through this experience before. If you haven't registered yet, I highly recommend you do so to at least one, if not all, of the programs today. With that being said, I'll pass it over to Alexis and Masa from the Cultural Diversity Office.
Hey everyone, so my name is Alexis Charles. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm the coordinator of cultural diversity programs at the University of Guelph. So I facilitate programs, events, and initiatives that support students who identify as Black or racialized at the UofG. We aim to foster a supportive, affirming, and inclusive campus for students to learn not only about themselves, but also learn about others, as well as create spaces for cultural celebration, advocacy, and social justice work. So we have a number of programs, events, and services dedicated to just that. For one, there's the Core 101 Leadership Program, which is a brand new program that will be starting up in September. It is a first-year leadership program that provides group mentorship opportunities for Black and racialized students. So if you are interested in participating, you will be matched with an upper year student who will work with you during your first year as you navigate the transition to university life. We also do weekly discussion events with the Guelph Black Students Association. This is a space to have conversations that center the voices and experiences of Black and non-Black students of color. In the past, we've covered topics ranging from race in the workplace, Blackness in hair, homophobia and transphobia in communities of color, and Blackness and masculinity. These discussions are open to all students, regardless of how you identify. We also facilitate the programming for Black History Month. So we have events throughout February to celebrate Black culture and community. In the past, we've done like a keynote address, games night, other wonderful events and opportunities for you to get involved with our office during February. And I'll pass it on to Masa, who will be sharing some of the other ways you can get involved.
Hi everyone, my name is Masa. I use she, her pronouns. I'm currently wrapping up my undergraduate degree in psychology and also working as a cultural diversity facilitator on campus alongside Alexis. So building on our list of programs and resources, we host a 4-week art series program, which is a great opportunity to explore different art mediums each week. There are visual arts, poetry, creative writing, and spoken word. These events are facilitated by Black and racialized artists from the community. I actually attended a few of these events myself, and after the acrylic painting workshop, I started taking up painting as a way to de-stress in my own time. This is also a great space for identity exploration and wellness. Next, we have wellness support. There is drop-in counseling for racialized students, and they happen Thursday afternoons. We also have a cultural diversity advisor who is available to support you throughout your time at the University of Guelph. This can be regarding academic support, social identity, finances, navigating the university system, and finding community and belonging. So pretty much anything that will enhance your quality, like your experience at the University of Guelph. You can definitely reach out to our cultural diversity advisor for support. If you prefer to meet with a student, I do lead the peer advising. So I'm currently wrapping up my undergraduate degree and have been on campus for about 5 years now, and would love to help you create a fulfilling experience on campus. That can be with maybe connecting you with the proper opportunities or relevant resources that might sometimes be difficult to find, or there's so many opportunities on campus, and sometimes what we're looking for gets lost. So I would love to help you find whatever is relevant for you. Lastly, we have the newsletters. So during the school year, our newsletters go out every week. During the summer, they're currently bi-weekly. And I've personally, before I started working in the Cultural Diversity Office as a facilitator, I benefited a lot from these newsletters and got connected to so many opportunities. So this is a great way to find out about events that are happening, job and volunteer opportunities, scholarships and bursaries, and then like relevant dates and important upcoming dates. So, links that might be relevant to, let's say, Black History Month, you can read up about that. So really a good way to stay up to date about what's going on campus. Yeah, and then for more information, you can email us at culturaldiversity@uofguelph I don't know if there's a chat, but I think there is. I can pop that into the chat. You can also sign up for our newsletter. Just give us an email and I'd be happy to help in any way I can. So go. And all right, folks, that's it for cultural diversity programs and services. Next, we have Kyle, who is our gender and sexual diversity advisor on campus.
Thanks so much, Masa. That's great. I appreciate that. Hey, everybody. I am Kyle. I use they or he pronouns and realized that everybody was putting up like pictures of their programming and all that stuff. I put pictures of my cats. So Luna is the calico cat right here and Tonks is the black cat over here. Yes, they're named after Harry Potter characters. I am a fan and feel torn about it at times. So I am the Sexual and Gender Diversity Advisor, as Masa said, and that basically means that I am here for one-on-one appointments. I can do them virtually, I can do them in person, and that's a space where you can talk about sexual and gender identity, maybe coming out, maybe being out, navigating resources on campus. You know, there are lots of different things, and if I'm not able to help or don't know what steps are next, I can always help like figure it out with you and find other folks on campus who might be better suited. And then I also oversee a team of student staff. So I have student staff, I have volunteers, I have peer helpers, and they are all here to support Two-Spirit and LGBTQIA students through different things, engagement and programming activities. And so one of those activities is Outline. And that's a University of Guelph resource and support service. And it is an anonymous chat that runs from 7 to 10 p.m. every single night of the week, except for exams and over the winter break during the school year. And it's run by students, by volunteers, and it's just a place to ask for help, to reach out about resources, to just maybe chat and unload. And so knowing that Outline is there, you can always find that on the website. And then there's another side to Outline, which runs events and programming. So every week we have programming that you can find on Gryphon, whether that is our queer weekly discussions. We have a trans and gender non-conforming group, a queer and trans group for Black and racialized students, an international student mix and mingle, like, you know, so many different options of things. And similar to the other folks, we also have a weekly newsletter right now going out monthly. And you can subscribe to that newsletter to know like what's going on, where things are, and get any updates there. So that is a little bit about me and my programming. And now I'm going to pass it over to Sonia from the Multi-Faith team.
Thanks so much, Kyle. Hi, everyone. I'm Sonia Wu Winter, and I coordinate multi-faith programs on campus. So I work with a team, the Multi-Faith Resource Team, to do a couple things. We work to support the different religious, spiritual, and worldview identities on campus. And with that, we want to say that you can find a place of community and belonging here. As a team, we also work to offer opportunities for religious literacy education and for multi-faith encounter and dialogue. And with that, we want to say that we are a campus that values religious pluralism, which means that we believe that people of diverse backgrounds can come together in mutually inspiring relationships and work together for the common good. And as a team, we work to promote the value and importance of meaning making, of the spiritual life and the inner life as an integral part of well-being on campus and our identities. And with that, we want to say that you can bring your whole self when you come to the UofG, that all of you is welcome. So a couple resources I want to point out here. Like I said, we have a multi-faith resource team on campus of 10 religious professionals and representatives of different communities that are available to offer spiritual support and spiritual care, regardless of whether you are affiliated with a religious tradition or not. We also have 15 religious, spiritual, and worldview campus groups, some led by chaplains on campus, some led by students. All of this information I'm sharing today, you can find out more about on our faith and spirituality pages on the Student Experience website. So definitely go there and check that out. And if you're looking for something you can't find, just be in touch. We've had new groups start, and I've been able to support students who want to come together and find community in new ways. So definitely reach out. We have a bunch of multi-faith spaces on campus for prayer, for meditation, and for quiet reflection. We have spaces in the UC for multi-faith prayer and meditation. We have a Muslim prayer room in the UC basement, along with wudu rooms, which are sacred spaces for ritual washing. There's a new multi-faith space in the library that's just opened up last semester. And the picture that you're seeing on the slide is Wraithby House. So that's our home to the multi-faith team. It's where our offices are, right in the middle of campus, right next to the cannon, for those of you who have come for a tour. And we have a meditation room on the second floor that's lovely. So if you're looking for space to be quiet, to be still, to just take a deep breath, there are a bunch of locations around campus where you can do that. I want you to know that there are options for halal, kosher, and vegetarian food on campus. More information about that is available on our website. And finally, we have a religious holidays calendar and a religious accommodations policy that you can find both on our website and through the Diversity and Human Rights Office on campus. And that's to say that if you are part of a tradition that celebrates holidays that aren't usually sort of part of the national holiday calendar in Canada, there are ways we can support you in approaching your professors to create alternate schedules for exams and other important sort of academic days to be able to observe the holidays that are important to you. We also have a newsletter, so if you're interested in more, feel free to sign up and reach out. I'd love to connect. I'd love to talk, hear what you're interested in, and be a resource to you to connect you with other folks on campus. Jenny, I think maybe I'm turning it back to you or someone for some Q&A.
Yes, thank you so much, Sonia. So now we're going to take a short break here and answer some questions that may have come through in the chat. I know you folks just received a lot of information from some of our wonderful campus partners, and that some of you folks may have questions. Please feel free to pop those into the chat and we can answer them as well. I also realized that this is a lot of information and you might take some time to digest it or think about it, and you may have questions after. This session is being recorded and will be posted on startonline.ca in the next 48 hours, so you can rewatch it and learn all about these awesome campus resources and different parts of the community. And if your question is more sensitive in nature, or you have a question specifically relating to your personal experiences, feel free to email us at start@uofguelph.ca for more specific answers, so we can connect you to the right person. So there's a few questions in the chat here, and I believe they're for our International Student Experience team. So maybe if someone from that team wants to unmute themselves, I can ask you the question here. But the question is, where can students register for the International Student Experience events? And how do they register for orientation?
I can drop both of those links into the chat.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amy. Amy will put those links out there for you folks who would like to register for START International as well. We also have quite a few other kind of START programming, such as START Indigenous, that Jamie touched on. And those information and how to register for those are also available on startonline.ca as well. So feel free to continue putting your questions into the chat, and we'll move forward with our next campus partner, who is athletics. So I'll invite Jen O'Neill to come and chat with you all about our wonderful athletic facilities.
Hello, future Gryphons. I'm Jennifer O'Neill, the manager of Fit Rec and Client Services in the Department of Athletics. In athletics, we hope as incoming students, you find an outlet and activity that's suited for you. We have plenty of opportunities that are included in your tuition under the fees at the Guelph Gryphon Athletic Center. You can come in and take part in any of our recreation activities. That includes things such as basketball, badminton, squash, swimming, and skating. Also included is access to our intramural program. These leagues are meant for anyone looking to learn a new sport or compete at a high level. So we do have a little bit of everything, including somebody who wants to start a brand new sport that they've never played, as well as somebody who's coming in that maybe has played at a high level but doesn't want to compete at the varsity level. Intramurals has a place for you. We have a great way, intramurals is a great way to meet friends. When we do surveys, a lot of our students join intramurals to meet others, and their expectations of who they're going to meet actually are exceeded in that they're finding friends that they're keeping for all 4 years, staying on the same team, being in multiple sports. So intramurals, if sports is something that you've done all of your high school career, is really a great way to find a community once you get here. If you're looking for your broader community, i.e. your Gryphon community, we invite and encourage students to cheer on your Gryphons at a home game and feel the sense of community and Gryphon pride that you can kind of only get at one of those big sporting events. We do have free admission for UofG students to our home games. All of our home games are on campus. Some of those include basketball, volleyball, soccer, football. And many international students want to come and watch football. A lot of that is a new experience for them. It's a great way to learn more about our community and get a real sense of what it feels like to be together cheering on your Gryphons. Access to our fitness center gym and fitness classes are part of our Energy Fitness membership. So that's probably the biggest question that students have is how do I access what they call the gym? We call the gym a fitness center, and that's what you see in the picture, including all the weight machines and the squat racks. That additional membership is only $52 plus tax, then allows you to access the fitness center or any fitness classes throughout the semesters. Our fitness classes are a great way to meet friends and kind of as a place for a lot of you that are maybe new to fitness and don't know where to start. Those fitness classes can be a great place. We also have 24 sport clubs that are within the Department of Athletics that are always looking for members. These sport clubs have a great community spirit, and many of them compete against other schools at a high level as well. Some of those clubs include Quidditch, softball, multiple types of dances, some martial arts programming, ringette. I can't name them all. There's quite a few. Come on out during the O-Week football game and you'll see some of them recruiting members there. I'd like to now show you a quick tour to give a real sense of what we can offer at the athletic club. We're still with you, folks. I promise we're still with you.
Today we're at the Guelph Gryphons Athletic Centre, GGAC for short, where we house the majority of our fitness and recreation programming. It's also home to our varsity swim team, our basketball team, and our volleyball team, as well as the varsity training facility. The GGAC is huge. Built in 2016, it connects to the historic wing of the Mitchell Athletic Centre. There's a lot to see, so let's get going. Here at the University of Guelph, all full-time students get access to an athletics-based membership as part of their tuition, which grants them student discounts on things like the Rockwall membership here, as well as rec basketball and swimming for free. The GGAC is also home to RBC on campus, as well as our own Gryphon locker, where you can buy all your Gryphon gear and things like goggles for the pool and locks for your locker. RBC on campus is where you can go to get pro tips about banking and financial questions from their on-site staff. So all students come through client services to swipe in using their student card. And here at Equipment Lending, you can borrow things like towels, basketballs, and rackets for all our indoor drop-in activities. So once you get your things, you can head over to one of our 3 change rooms where you can store your belongings. We have men's, women's, and universal change rooms, which offer private changing stalls as well as day-use lockers. And if you'd like to rent out a locker, you can do that in the men's and women's change rooms. Welcome to the Gryphons Aquatic Center, where we have 2 pools and a recreational hot tub. The gold pool is 25 meters long and 8 lanes wide. The red pool has both a shallow end and deep end with a diving board and accessible lift. These pools play host to a variety of clubs, varsity swim team, intramurals, and registered programming like swim lessons, first aid certifications, and scuba diving. You can also just come in for a drop-in rec swim or to use the hot tub, one of my favorite ways to distress during exams. We're also one of the largest intramural programs in Canada, with leagues ranging from fun to competitive. We have many ways for you to get involved with sports while you're here. Looking for the next level? Get involved with one of our sports clubs. Let's check out the fitness center next. This beautiful 22,000 square foot space is just next to some of our student residences and comes with state-of-the-art fitness equipment for all your fitness needs. If you're new to the space or feeling a bit overwhelmed with everything here, make sure to ask one of our staff members for a free orientation. We'll even spot you. You get access to the space with our Energy Pass for a low semesterly rate. So on the 3rd floor of the GGAC, we have our fitness studios and our dance studios. We also have our wrestling room, which is home to our cheerleading team, wrestling team, and martial arts programs. As mentioned before, this building is home to your Gryphons volleyball and basketball teams. You get free access as a student to all regular season home games. Check out gryphons.ca for dates and times. That wraps up our tour of the GGAC. As you can tell, the opportunities to stay active on campus are virtually endless. If you need any more information on scheduling and updates, check out gryphons.ca. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, everybody. I'd like to turn it over to Rebecca now in Student Wellness and Promotion Center.
Awesome, thanks. Hi, everybody. My name is Rebecca. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm one of the wellness educators in the Wellness Education and Promotion Center. So Student Wellness Services, which is what I am a part of, offers support for all of your physical and mental health needs. We are located on campus in the JT Powell building, which is right beside the Athletic Center. And so this is going to be just a quick overview of our services, but way more details are available on our website, wellness.uofg.ca. You can also follow us on Instagram at wellness_UofG to stay in the loop about all of our services and events throughout the year. So on the next slide, Jenny, it has all of our information if you want to find that. And there's also going to be a QR code right there on the screen. I can see it now, that you can scan with your phone right now, and you can follow us on Instagram right now. And then you don't have to remember to do it when you come to campus in September. We are still posting lots of relevant info throughout the summer too. Everything that I'm going to talk about in terms of our services is free for students or is covered by your student insurance, regardless of whether you are an international student or a domestic student. So the Wellness Education and Promotion Center, where I work, we offer health and well-being programming, resources, and student peer-to-peer support. So those topics include mental health, substance use, nutrition, physical activity, and sexual health. We run a number of peer-to-peer programs, including our UShine program, which is a peer mentorship program that empowers students to develop successful habits to boost well-being. We have our student recovery community, which is for folks looking to make changes to their substance use behaviors. And we offer an awesome program called the Student Support Network, or SSN. And the SSN offers drop-in peer support by a team of extensively trained student leaders and volunteers who are ready to provide a supportive ear to any UofG student. So they offer confidential and non-judgmental support. They can provide referrals and are just a place to chat with folks who will genuinely care about you if you had a bad day, if you just need somebody to talk to. And they also offer specific times on Wednesday afternoons for Black and racialized students if they're looking for support as well. On top of all of those other programs and more that I haven't mentioned because I don't have time, we also run a number of workshops, events, resource sessions, etc. So keep an eye on that social media and our Gryphon Life page to learn more about what's coming up, including a few workshops that are actually being offered this summer if you want to come check them out before you set foot on campus. There's also lots of other units that make up student wellness services. So I'm going to talk briefly about each of those. First is counseling services. So they offer a number of different options to support students through personal challenges. And that can include individual counseling appointments, same-day drop-ins, urgent crisis support, therapy groups on a number of different topics, and counseling tailored to specific identities, so such as Black and racialized students, as Massa mentioned earlier, and LGBTQ+ students. Students who are accessing counseling for the first time, I know it can be sometimes really overwhelming to determine what you need or what you're looking for. So we have you start by meeting with one of our student wellness navigators, and they provide resources and support options within student wellness, within campus, elsewhere, maybe student experience, or even off campus to figure out the plan that's going to best suit your needs so that you're not left figuring it out yourself. Our next unit to talk about is our sexual and gender-based violence support and education. So this is the place to go to determine options related to sexual violence. So that can include seeking support. And it doesn't have to be related to campus at all, and it doesn't require reporting to police or anything like that. So we have our sexual and gender-based violence support coordinator who can support you through accommodations, safety plans, reporting, going to court, anything that you might need in this realm. And then we also have our brand new sexual and gender-based violence educator who provides training and education to our UofG community. Next up, we have student health services, and so they are your family doctor away from home. They provide all of the health and medical services that UofG students may need, including treatment for illness and injury, reproductive health, so like STI testing or birth control, etc., mental health support with our psychiatric team, dietitian services, immunizations, including booster shots for COVID, and more. We also offer the Health and Performance Center, which covers the other pieces of your physical health. So that includes chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage therapy, etc. Those services are typically pay per use. However, most of them are included completely or up to a certain dollar amount by your student benefits. And the final unit that makes up our awesome student wellness team is student accessibility services, which I will not be talking about because Patty will be talking about that in just a moment. So with all of these services that we offer, it might be no surprise that UofG is committed to a healthy campus community, and our campus is smoke-free. This applies to cannabis, tobacco, and vaping. It's worth noting that there are exceptions for those using tobacco as a traditional medicine, and you can contact the Indigenous Student Centre if you have questions about that. If you're in need of supports to quit or reduce your smoking before or arriving on campus, feel free to connect with Student Health Services who can help you out. As for other substance use, it's important to know before you're coming to our campus and our community that students tend to overestimate the number of their peers who are actually using cannabis or alcohol. If you don't use it all, or you maybe only have a few drinks at a time, or you don't know what your use is going to be like when you set foot on campus, that's okay. You are in the majority of students on our campus. That said, if substance use is something that you've struggled with in the past, we know that the pandemic can influence that. We also have a number of supports available if you're looking to make some change. So just let us know whatever you might need. If you have any questions about our services, as I mentioned before, you can check us out online, wellness@uofguelph.ca. Follow us with the QR code on the screen there, or you can email me, wellness@uofguelph.ca. So after all of that awesome info, please feel free to ask any questions, and I will pass it off to Patty from Student Accessibility.
Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you for including the picture you included on your slide, just so people are aware that Student Accessibility Service is also hosted in that same building, the JT Powell building on campus. Thank you for everyone who's stayed right through this whole presentation until the end. I appreciate it. My name is Patty and I use she, her pronouns. I'm an advisor to students with disabilities and work in student accessibility services. SAS provides practical support and advocacy for students with various types of disabilities to be as successful as possible with their academics. We work with students to identify their strengths and challenges and apply appropriate accommodations. We provide support to students with a wide range of disabilities that are either temporary or permanent. This is not an exhaustive list by any stretch, but these can include acquired brain injuries, concussion, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, autism spectrum disorder, hearing and vision challenges, learning disabilities, health and medical diagnoses, mobility, dexterity, and sensory issues, and mental health concerns, whether those are ongoing or newly diagnosed. If you had an IEP in high school, you may want to consider connecting with SAS to find out about any accommodations that might be available to you. Supports in the classroom are different in post-secondary than in high school, so it's important to start this process before classes begin if you can. If that's not possible, you can most certainly reach out after the fall semester has started. Some accommodations that students access due to their disability and symptoms include exam accommodations, like extra time or a quiet space, a smaller space to write tests, or classroom accommodations that might include things like note takers, FM transmitters, alternate format textbooks, or adaptive technologies, including both software and hardware. We can also help with strategies to prepare for presentations and test taking. If you're interested in finding out more about our services or to start the intake process for yourself, please reach out to sasintake@uofguelph.ca. That's on the slide there. You can also visit our website to find out more if you're not quite ready to start the intake process. The phone number is there for you to reach us if you just have some questions and you'd rather do that in person than by email. Please check out our website for lots more information about what we do and how we do it. I know Jenny is sharing the link in our new student intake form in the chat area at some point during our discussion today. And she is also sharing a link where you can learn more about our Start Accessible orientation programming, and that happens in late August and early September for new students to our services. So any new student accessibility students. So that is about all I'm going to say today, but please do check out those resources and connect as needed as soon as today or anytime up to the beginning of the semester. And like I say, if you missed that window, that's okay. You can reach out at any point and we are happy to connect with you. Thank you for your time today. Back to you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Patty, for that wealth of information. So that is the end of our formal presentation today. So we're really happy for you folks who followed along with us. We hope you learned about the different parts of our community and some that you can identify with, and maybe learn something new along the way as well. We're going to open it up for questions. If anyone does have specific questions, we would love to be here to answer them for you. In the chat, I'm seeing some questions about how to find out about specific clubs or societies that are on campus. Our Start on Campus from last week actually covered this on how to use our Gryphon platform and search for different clubs and societies of interest. So if you go online, you can watch the recording there and learn how to find any specific clubs or societies information. We also have a question here for Jen about how students can sign up for a team or a sports club. So Jen, I don't know if you want to unmute yourself and answer that for us.
Yes, sports clubs. The best way to contact your sport or get in touch with a sport club is just like that's in the chat there. There's a link, and then on the section sports and clubs, each club has their email listed. That would be a great way to contact them. Because they're all student run, the other option is to actually look them or search them up on Instagram, as many of them on our Instagram, and you can kind of understand what they do. So that would be a great place to kind of get more information or see what they're up to, or shoot them a message there. And then if you're looking to join an intramural team, registration for that begins September 2nd and runs through until September 12th. And registration is also at the same website. And we are going to run through some of that at an orientation event on Tuesday, September 6th at 4:30 p.m. We're running an open house, and you can visit some of our sport clubs and learn more about our intramural system.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jen. So I'm not seeing any new questions coming through the chat, but if you folks do have questions after you kind of log off from the presentation, again, you can email start@uofguelph.ca and we can find the answer for you or put you in touch with the right person. I wanted to say thank you to all our lovely campus partners and presenters for spending some time with us, and thank you to all of you for watching this presentation. And we look forward to seeing you at our next Start on Campus session next week, all about living in community, where we'll be talking about some residence resources and resources for students living off campus. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.